Finch Fifth, where the food is Michelin starred, and the service is swell. Let's just say it's there. Imagine a place where you can nibble on a charcuterie board that looks like a work of art. It's so pretty, you almost don't want to eat it. But then you remember that you're a human, not a museum curator, and you dive right in. And the fish grits plate. It's like a culinary symphony. The fish is cooked to perfection, the grits are creamy and smooth, and the sauce is simply divine. But let's talk about the service. It's like a roller coaster. Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down, and sometimes it's just stuck at the bottom. One time, our waiter disappeared for 12 minutes. I'm not sure if he went to the bathroom, got lost in the kitchen, or was just practicing his disappearing act for his next gig as a magician. But hey, don't let that scare you away. The food is worth it. Just remember to bring your patience and a sense of humor. And when you're there, be sure to try the watermelon mimosa. It's like a party in a glass. Overall, Finch Fifth is an Augusta gem. It's a place where you can enjoy fantastic food, have a few laughs, and maybe even witness a disappearing waiter. Trattoria Polipo, where waiting is the main course. Are you tired of restaurants that serve you your food with lightning speed? Do you wish there was a place where you could sit for hours, waiting patiently for your meal while your stomach gnaws at you like a pack of hungry wolves? If so, Trattoria Polipo is the place for you. Upon arriving at this hidden gem, you'll be greeted by a server who will immediately forget your existence. Don't worry, they'll eventually come back to take your order, but only after you've contemplated taking the water bottle from the neighboring unoccupied table. The highlight of your dining experience will undoubtedly be the complimentary bread and olive oil. Just kidding. The bread is stale, and the olive oil tastes like something you'd find at the bottom of an old lamp. For your main course, I highly recommend the shrimp scampi, which is guaranteed to be about as exciting as watching paint dry. Or the risotto, which will arrive at your table with a strong citrus flavor that will make you wonder if you're actually eating a lemon. But hey, at least the wine is decent. Just make sure you order enough, because you're going to need it to wash down all the salt that's been sprinkled all over your steak. Oh, and don't forget about the service. It's so bad that you'll actually start to feel sorry for the staff. Just remember, they're probably just as desperate as you are to get out of there. So, if you're looking for a restaurant where you can enjoy a leisurely meal while practicing extreme patience, Trattoria Polipo is your place. Just don't blame me when you leave feeling like you've wasted the last 2 hours of your life. Oh, the Frog the Hen, where culinary delights meet the chaos of a sitcom. Step inside, if you dare, and brace yourself for an experience that will leave you both satisfied and senselessly amused. The hostess, bless her heart, may greet you with an unenthusiastic grunt. Don't take it personally, she's just conserving her energy for the inevitable "sorry, we're out of chicken sandwiches" announcement. Once seated, prepare for a menu that reads like a who's who of comfort food. Pot pies. Check. Leg of lamb sandwiches. You betcha. Pimento cheese Philly-style sandwiches. Well, that's just plain silly. Speaking of the pimento cheese, it's a mystery shrouded in enigma. It has the consistency of shredded cardboard and the flavor of a failed chemistry experiment. But hey, you can always smother it in the surprisingly excellent deviled eggs. As for the chicken sandwich, well, it's a tale of highs and lows. The chicken itself is crispy and juicy, a symphony of flavors that will make your taste buds dance. But the fries, my friends, are a tragedy. Cold, soggy, and with the texture of cardboard, they're the perfect accompaniment to the pimento cheese. The service, like the food, is a roller coaster of emotions. Our server, Kaya, deserves a medal for her patience and professionalism. But the old hostess, she's the real star of the show. Imagine a grumpy Mrs. Doubtfire, minus the charm. Despite these minor setbacks, the Frog the Hen remains our Augusta institution. It's the place you go when you crave comfort food, a good laugh, and a reminder that even the most mundane of restaurants can bring a smile to your face. Just be sure to bring a jacket, because the air conditioning will have you shivering like a chihuahua in a snowstorm. And don't get your hopes up for that carafe of mimosas. It's a menu illusion, like the Loch Ness Monster. But hey, if you're lucky, you might just get a cinnamon roll from nowhere. Just don't ask too many questions. It's the frog the hen, after all, where anything is possible, and the only consistency is the inconsistency. Frog Hollow Tavern, where dining and merriment coalesce. Step into the enchanting Frog Hollow Tavern, where the adage affordable and exquisite takes on a whole new meaning. Prepare to witness a culinary symphony, conducted by the maestro chefs, who pluck the finest ingredients from local gardens and pair them with a symphony of over 100 wines. But hold fast, dear diner, for this tavern is not merely a place to satisfy your rumbling belly. It's a labyrinth of laughter, where servers dance with wit and charm, eager to recommend dishes that will tickle your fancies and leave you singing arias of delight. Indulge in the legendary wedge salad, a masterpiece of crisp greens, savory bacon, and a tangy dressing that will make your taste buds do the salsa. As you savor its perfection, gaze up at the ceiling, where a chorus of frogs croak in harmonious accompaniment. Then, my friend, embark on a journey of Epicurean delights. Fuji apple carpaccio, thinly sliced apples, draped in a delicate lemon vinaigrette, will serenade your palate with their sweet and tangy notes. Oyster Rockefeller, these succulent mollusks, adorned with buttery spinach, Parmesan cheese, and panade, will transport you to the depths of the sea, where flavor reigns supreme. Macaroni and cheese, prepare yourself for a revelation as this dish arrives, not as a humble bowl of pasta, but as a lasagna-esque masterpiece, studded with 3 types of cheese that will make you question the meaning of life. As the curtain falls on your meal, allow the chocolate torte to take center stage. Its velvety texture and delicate crunch, a tribute to the culinary gods, will leave you craving more. But beware, our dear traveller, for the true enchantment of Frog Hollow Tavern lies not only in its dining but in its convivial atmosphere. A server may don an apron, lift his shirt, and reveal a tattooed athletic number, much to the delight of the audience. And if you're lucky, you might be graced by the sight of the manager, who couldn't care less about your complaints but will still try to appease you with a passive-aggressive dessert drop. My friends, Frog Hollow Tavern is a culinary haven where laughter and Epicurean adventures intertwine. Come, partake in its delights, and be prepared for a dining experience that will have you howling at the moon and craving another round of Frog Hollow's finest. Mirin Fusion Kitchen, where the food's so good, you'll forget you're in Augusta. Mirin Fusion Kitchen in Augusta is the culinary equivalent of a superhero movie. It's got action, adventure, and a protagonist, the food that saves the day. From the moment you step inside, you're greeted by a friendly staff that's more enthusiastic than a kid with a new puppy. They'll guide you through the menu, which is like a culinary roadmap to Flavor Town. Let's start with the Thai tea. It's like a hug in a cup, with magical tapioca boba that's so perfectly chewy, you'll swear you're in a bubble tea paradise. The Korean beef tacos. Oh boy, they're a fiesta in your mouth. Imagine the juiciest beef marinated in a secret blend of Korean spices, dancing on top of a crispy tortilla. But wait, there's more. The spicy miso ramen is like a symphony of flavors. The broth is rich and savory, the noodles are cooked to perfection, and the toppings are like a party in a bowl. And if you're looking for something more casual, their build-your-own bowl is the ultimate choose-your-own-adventure story. You can customize it with everything from fresh veggies to grilled tofu, and you'll end up with a masterpiece that's unique to you. Now, let's not forget the boba tea. It's a drinkable celebration, with flavors that range from strawberry milk with popping boba to grapefruit oolong tea that's so refreshing, it'll make you forget you're in the middle of a Georgia summer. But the best part about Mirin Fusion Kitchen isn't just the food. It's the vibe. It's a place where you can come alone and get lost in a bowl of ramen, or bring a group of friends and have a culinary party. So next time you're in Augusta and craving something delicious, remember Mirin Fusion Kitchen. It's the culinary equivalent of a vacation, and it's right in your backyard. Now, hold on to your ribs, folks, cause we're about to dish on Brinkley's Chop House like Richard Pryor on a comedy special. This joint is like a slice of steak and potatoes heaven for us carnivores. But don't be fooled by the fancy name. Brinkley's is as down to earth as it gets. Now, let's talk about the steaks. They're like the Rolls-Royce of meat, cooked to perfection in a way that would make Ramsay himself go, well, I'll be damned. Seriously, these steaks melt in your mouth like a politician's promises on election night. But hold your horses, cowboy. The appetizers ain't no joke either. The wedgie tasting is like a rodeo on your taste buds, but without the bull riding. And they're spring rolls. They're so crispy, you can hear 'em crunch from across the room. But wait, there's more. Their sides are like a sideshow of deliciousness. The potato croquette is like a crispy, golden nugget of potato heaven. And the loaded mashed potatoes. They're so rich, you'll need a defibrillator to bring your arteries back to life. Now, let's talk about the service. Our server, Corey, was like a stand-up comic in an apron. He kept us entertained with his witty banter and perfect timing. And speaking of timing, our food arrived so fast, it was like they had a time machine in the kitchen. But here's the punchline, they don't give you bread with your meal unless you ask for it. What's that all about? Is bread in short supply in Augusta or something? Oh, and don't forget that 3.5 credit card processing fee. That's like being taxed for using your own money. But overall, Brinkley's Chop House is a winner. It's like a symphony of flavors and laughs, all served in a down-to-earth atmosphere. Just remember, don't be a chicken and ask for that bread. Welcome to the Brunch House of Augusta, where the food is so good, you'll forget you're in a converted gas station. Upon entering, you'll be greeted by the aroma of freshly brewed coffee and the sound of waitstaff singing happy birthday to every third customer. Don't be alarmed, it's part of their delightful quirkiness. The menu is an ode to southern comfort food, with mouth-watering options like the sweet potato pancakes that look like they're made of real sweet potatoes and the salmon croquettes that will make you do a salmon dance. But fear not, vegetarians, they've got you covered with their meat-free grits that will make you forget about sausage. Speaking of grits, they've got 'em in every color of the rainbow except pink, because that would be weird. But hey, if you're into grit roulette, go for the yellow ones. They're like a lottery ticket that could win you a free dental cleaning. The service is top-notch, with waitstaff who are so attentive, they'll practically hold your fork for you. And the ambience. Well, it's like stepping into a time capsule of a diner, complete with checkered tablecloths and a jukebox that plays only Elvis and Dolly Parton. So if you're looking for a breakfast or brunch experience that's as warm and comforting as your grandma's hugs, but with less drool, come on down to the Brunch House of Augusta. Just be prepared to dance with salmon, sing happy birthday to strangers, and get your grit on. At Bistro 55, I had a dining experience so exquisite, I felt like I was in a French palace with air conditioning. The menu was like a choose-your-own-adventure book, but with food. I started with the prime rib French dip, which was basically a French onion soup sandwich. The meat was so tender, it practically melted in my mouth like a politician's promise. Next, I tackled the croquencia, a French grilled cheese that was so good, it made me forget about the time I lost a staring contest with a goat. The ham was salty, the cheese was gooey, and the egg on top was so perfectly runny, it looked like a yolk sunrise. For my main course, I went with the filet mignon, and let me tell you, it was cooked to perfection. The steak was so juicy, it made my mouth water like a faucet with a loose handle. The sauce was rich and flavorful, and the whole thing was so good, I almost forgot to chew. The service was top-notch. Our waiter was attentive without being annoying, and he even gave us a free dessert because the coffee was cold. Apparently, they have a no cold coffee policy, which is like a no shirt, no shoes, no service policy, but for caffeine addicts. Now, the atmosphere was a bit stuffy, but hey, it's a French restaurant. It's supposed to be a little pretentious. Plus, the building is so beautiful, it's worth putting on your fanciest pants just to go there. Overall, Bistro 55 was a dining experience that was both delicious and entertaining. It's the perfect place to go when you want to feel like a fancy pants, but without the stuffy atmosphere. Just remember to bring your sense of humor, because you're likely to have a few laughs along the way. Yo, check it out. Abel Brown's Southern Kitchen Oyster Bar in Augusta, Georgia is the bomb. First off, the location is on point. You got all kinds of shopping and stuff right there, so you can stuff your belly and then empty your wallet all in one convenient spot. The service is like a well-oiled machine, with waiters as patient as a saint and knowledgeable enough to guide you through the menu like a GPS. They got a bunch of off-menu specials that'll make you drool like a bulldog on a hot day, so be sure to ask about those. The ambience is like a fancy date night spot, but without the stuffy atmosphere. It's perfect for a special occasion or if you just want to treat yourself to a night out like a boss. Now, let's talk about the oysters. Oh man, they're like little pearls from the ocean. They got a special menu that tells you all about each type of oyster, like their flavor, their salinity, and their astrological sign. Seriously, I'm not making this up. And the mains. Don't even get me started. The short rib is like a beefy hug wrapped in a warm blanket of root vegetables. It'll make you forget all your troubles, except maybe that you ate too much and now you're gonna need a nap. The only downside is the croissant bread pudding. It's good, don't get me wrong, but it's not gonna blow your mind. It's like the backup dancer to a rock star, you know. Overall, Abel Brown's Southern Kitchen Oyster Bar is a 5-star experience. You'll leave feeling satisfied, happy, and with a belly so full you'll need to unbutton your pants. And hey, if you're lucky, you might even get a visit from the ghost of James Brown himself, doing the funky chicken on the dance floor. Ain't nothing but a good time. Y'all, let me tell you about the Feed Sack North Augusta, a place where they got horse vodka that'll make you feel like you're riding a carousel in a Chuck E. Cheese. Now, let's talk about the food. It's like a symphony for your taste buds, especially that pork belly. It's so tender and juicy, it felt like I was smooching a baby pig. And the shrimp and grits. Oh man, it's like they took a shrimp and said, let's put some grits in it and fry it to perfection. But hey, even the best places have their quirks. Like this one waitress, Megan. She was so attentive, she checked on us more times than a cop on a traffic stop. But you know what? That's better than having a server who disappears like a magician's assistant. Oh, and the desserts. They got a variety that'll make your head spin like a Beyblade. But remember, folks, this ain't no buffet. Don't go crazy and order everything, or you'll end up like me, looking like a stuffed turkey. So, if you're looking for a delicious meal with a side of chuckle-worthy vodka, grab your spurs and head on down to the Feed Sack North Augusta. Just be prepared for some surprises, like that beef short rib that made me feel like my taste buds were at a salt mine. But hey, you can always wash it down with their spicy melon martini and get your kick back. If you're looking for a vegan restaurant that'll make you forget you're eating vegan, Salford Kitchen is the place to go. Their menu is so extensive, you'll feel like you're in a vegan buffet nightmare, but in a good way. I started with the detoxifier beet juice, which was so refreshing, it made me forget I was eating vegetables. My main course was the Cuban bowl with BBQ jackfruit, which was so good, it made me forget I was vegan. The jackfruit was so tender and juicy, it could fool even the most die-hard carnivore. The service was also top-notch. Our server, Whitney, was so attentive, she made us feel like we were the only people in the restaurant. She even gave us a free dessert, which was so delicious, it made us forget we were vegan. The only downside is the price. It's a little steep for a vegan restaurant, but when the food is this good, it's worth it. Just be prepared to pay a little bit more for your meal. Overall, I highly recommend Salford Kitchen. It's a great place to go with friends or family, or even just by yourself. You won't be disappointed. Pineapple Ink Tavern, where the food's so good you'll forget your name. Listen up, alligator lovers. If you're looking for a dining experience that'll have you laughing and licking your plate clean, then Pineapple Ink Tavern is the place to be. First off, let's talk about the food. It's like a love letter to your taste buds. The BELT sandwich is a symphony of flavors, with that fried green tomato dancing on your tongue like a Cuban conga line. The chicken and waffles. Well, let's just say they're so fluffy, you'll swear they're floating on air. But it's not just the food that'll make you giggle. The service is like a stand-up comedy routine. There's Janice, who'll greet you with a smile so bright it could power a small solar system. And then there's Carmen, the disappearing act who'll make you feel like you're in a game of hide and seek with your food. Don't worry, though, Carmen with a K will eventually show up and make up for it with her sassy wit and quick refills. And let's not forget the bar staff, who are like the unsung heroes of the evening. They'll guide you through a tap list that's longer than a Cuban telenovela and offer samples that'll make you wish your liver was as strong as a Havana Club rum. Now, I know some of you picky eaters might be side-eyeing the Cuban-inspired menu. But trust me, even if you've never had a mojito that didn't come in a can, you'll love it here. The leche asado is as tender as a Cuban grandma's hug, and the maduros are fried to perfection. Just don't get your hopes up for a Cuban coffee. The espresso machine is apparently on a permanent vacation to Miami. So next time you're looking for a night of laughter, delicious food, and service that'll make you wonder if you're on a reality show, head on down to Pineapple Ink Tavern. Just remember, if your food takes a while to arrive, don't be surprised if it's because the kitchen staff is busy doing a conga line with your chicken and waffles. Ay caramba. Picture this, a culinary oasis in the heart of Augusta, a place that has seen transformations as diverse as a chameleon. Enter Midtown Tavern, the latest incarnation of 1855 Central, where once stood Soul City Pizza, Crumbs, and Southbound Smokehouse. Like a seasoned actor in a revolving door of roles, Midtown Tavern embraces the stage with ease. It's a hub where every night could be a different performance. Whether it's the sweet melodies of live music or the symphony of clinking glasses, there's always a touch of something magical in the air. Now, let's talk about the food. Imagine wings that are cooked to perfection, crispy on the outside and tender on the inside, with just the right amount of sweet spicy sauce. They're like a culinary dance party in your mouth. The fries, my friends, are no mere city kicks. They're hand-cut and golden brown, the perfect complement to any dish. But wait, there's more. The margaritas. Oh, the margaritas. They're crafted with fresh flavors that will make you forget all your troubles. It's like a liquid vacation in a glass. And if you're looking for a burger that will make your taste buds sing, try the Smash Burger. Yes, the name may be a bit deceptive, but trust me, it's a symphony of juicy patties, melted cheese, and a symphony of toppings. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, parking. It's a bit like playing a game of Tetris, but with your car instead of colorful blocks. But hey, it's worth it for the culinary masterpieces that await you inside. So step into the realm of Midtown Tavern, where live music, great food, and a dash of humor await you. It's a place that will make you want to come back for more, even if it means another round of parking Tetris. Ahoy landlubbers! Shiver me timbers, I've stumbled upon a culinary treasure hidden amidst the bustling streets of Augusta, Beck's Restaurant. Now, as a seasoned sailor, I've had my fair share of oysters, but Beck's left me adrift in a sea of delight. They're as fresh as a mermaid's kiss, with a tantalizing array of 6 different types to choose from. And hold fast, mateys, because their wings are a symphony of sweet and spicy, served with a dash of Carolina white that'll make your taste buds shiver. But shiver me timbers, 'tis the shrimp and scallop stuffed flounder that stole my heart. Imagine a delectable sea creature enveloped in a creamy embrace, so tender it'll make you forget your sea legs. And to quench your thirst, the bartender's a true sea dog, serving up grog that'll put a wind in your sails. At Beck's, you'll dine like royalty in a swashbuckling atmosphere. The mussels are so mind-blowing, they'll have you yo-ho-hoing with every bite. And their southern staples and specialty pastas will leave you longing for a second serving. Now, I know what you're thinking, me hetties. A fine dining establishment with such praise. It might seem like a fish out of water, but Beck's strikes a balance between salty finesse and a touch of roguish charm. So don't be a landlubbing fool. Set sail for Beck's, where the food is fit for a pirate king and the ambience will leave you feeling like you've discovered a buried treasure. Prepare yourself for a night that'll have you singing a boss, me lads, with every sip and bite. Jackie M's Son, where the music flows and the food wobbles. Step into the sonic sanctuary of Jackie M's, where the airwaves hum with the soulful symphony of R&B, jazz, gospel, and a dash of rock and roll. It's like a musical potluck where James Brown brings the funk and God himself sizzles the fries. As you slide into the waiting area, adorned with graffiti that would make Banksy jealous, prepare for a gastro adventure. The service is swift as a hummingbird's wing beat, leaving you feeling like you've been hugged by a cloud of friendliness. Now, let's talk food. The Gutbuster steak sandwich is like a geological formation, layered with meat so tender it'd make a caveman weep. But be warned, the bread is a bit like a gummy bear that's been left in the sun too long. It's chewy, it's stubborn, but it adds a certain rustic charm that's somehow endearing. The soul rolls, oh, the soul rolls. They're like golden nuggets of crispy perfection, dipped in a ranch sauce that would make a vegan question their life choices. And don't even get me started on the fries. My husband says they're his favorite, but let's be honest, he'd probably say that about a burnt tire if it had ranch sauce on it. Now, about the wait. It's like trying to get a parking spot at the mall on Black Friday. But hey, that's what makes it a true Augusta experience. You'll have plenty of time to contemplate the meaning of life, the universe, and whether or not the buffalo lemon pepper wings would pair better with a cold brew or him. So gather your tribe, embrace the wait, and indulge in the culinary wonderland that is Jackie M's Son. Just remember, the bread may be questionable, but the music and food will leave you humming with satisfaction. Feast like Gatsby at Craft Vine, a speakeasy extravaganza. Prepare to be transported to a bygone era of prohibition and flappers at Craft Vine, Augusta's speakeasy paradise. Step inside, and the faded grandeur of the Great Gatsby's mansion awaits you. Cocktails that pack a punch, sip on prohibition-strength cocktails that'll have you swooning like Daisy Buchanan. The macadamia nut martini is a perfect pairing for the ever-changing appetizers, tantalizing your taste buds with its nutty embrace. Food that sings like an opera. Indulge in brick oven pizzas that burst with flavor like arias from La Traviata. The spicy will serenade your mouth with a slow burn, while the mushroom will enchant you with its creamy, savory notes. A feast for the eyes and the stomach. As your stomach sings with delight, your eyes will feast on the alluring ambience. The low lighting, bow ties, and weight stuff adorned like extras from a Scorsese film will have you feeling like the creme de la creme of the Prohibition era. Happy hour. More like happy hours. Raise a glass during not one, but 2 happy hours each night. Make merry with friends or indulge in a grand solo celebration as you sample half glasses or full glasses of top-notch wines. Insider tips for the savvy speakeasy visitor: no reservations. No problem. Grab a Prohibition-era cocktail and socialize while you wait. Tap into the knowledge of the charming staff for insider recommendations on the menu's hidden gems. Don't forget to try the French press coffee, served on fine china like a prince or princess. Embrace the Prohibition-era spirit and order the barely buzzed cheese. It's like saying, "I'm only slightly bending the rules, officer." In conclusion, Craft Vine is not just a restaurant, it's a time machine that transports you to an era of glamour, indulgence, and Prohibition-era hijinks. So gather your friends, don your flapper dresses and Gatsby shirts, and prepare for a night of culinary and architectural delight that will leave you asking, "My dear, is this heaven or just Augusta?" Bodega Ultima, where the coffee's great and the staff is grumpier than a cat with a UTI. Listen up, coffee lovers. If you're looking for a place where the baristas will smile at you like they're contestants on the America's Next Top Model audition show, keep driving. Bodega Ultima is not that place. But hey, who needs a smile when you can have amazing coffee and food? Their breakfast sandwiches are like a warm, gooey hug in the morning. The bagels are so fluffy, they'll make your cheeks hurt from all the smiling you'll be doing as long as you don't encounter the grumpy staff. And the house-secured locks. Oh my, it's like a party in your mouth. Lunch is just as impressive. Rotating soups, salads, and sandwiches will keep you coming back for more. But be warned, the waitstaff might be so busy standing around and avoiding eye contact that you'll start to think they're practicing for a game of hide and seek. Oh, and let's talk about the Popper's fried potatoes. They're so crispy and perfectly seasoned, they'll make you forget all about those sad, floppy fries you've been eating elsewhere. The outdoor patio is a vibe, especially if you're bringing your furry friend. And if you're lucky, you might even catch a glimpse of the owner's overly affectionate dog. Just don't let it lick your face if you're not into public displays of canine affection. So, if you can handle the potential resting bee face of the staff, Bodega Ultima is definitely worth checking out. Just make sure you bring your own sugar, because apparently they have a policy of sugar. We don't know her. The Hammond's Ferry Larder, where the parking's scarce, but the grits ain't nestled in Augusta's ambitious and visionary Hammond's Ferry development. The Hammond's Ferry Larder is a culinary paradox. Like a politician with a conscience, it's a one-of-a-kind dining experience that'll make your belly happy and your wallet cry. The ambience is like a hipster's wet dream, dim lighting, high-top tables, and a bar with more seats than a Greyhound bus. The menu reads like a Shakespearean sonnet, with each dish a masterpiece of fusion cuisine. The pulled pork Benedict is a testament to culinary audacity. It's a breakfast sandwich so big, you'll need a forklift to lift it. But like most politicians, it's all facade. The pulled pork is as dry as a Republican convention, and the eggs are as thin as a liberal's patience. The French toast is better, but it still falls short. It's like a Democrat's campaign promises, fluffy and sweet at first, but once the sugar rush wears off, you're left with a hollow feeling inside. But fear not, my fellow diners. The grits here are a revelation. They're so smooth, they'll slip down your gullet like a politician's promise to cut taxes. Just don't expect much flavor. Like a politician's speech, they're all talk and no action. Service is hit or miss. Sometimes you'll get a server who's as attentive as a politician on election day. Other times, you'll be left waiting like a taxpayer on refund season. And let's not forget the nightmare that is parking. It's like trying to find a unicorn in a forest of donkeys. You may have to park miles away and hike through a swamp of campaign signs to reach the restaurant. But despite its flaws, the Hammond's Ferry Larder is worth a visit. Its unique menu and lively atmosphere will ensure that you have a memorable dining experience. Just don't expect too much flavor, and make sure you have a designated driver to navigate the treacherous parking wasteland. Ironwood Tavern, where the wait is worth it even for a one-legged wonder. Let me tell you folks, Ironwood Tavern is the place to be. So packed on a Friday night, it felt like the whole town had descended upon the area. But here's the secret, the food was so freaking good, it was no wonder it was packed to the rafters. The menu was like a kid in a candy store, so many good options. It was like Sophie's Choice. Even the cheesecake was out of this world, so fluffy it could make your granny jealous. And let's not forget the atmosphere's galore for all you sports fanatics, and wait staff so friendly, they'll make you want to marry their mamas. Now, let's talk drinks. They had some unique sips on their menu, like a cocktail that made me do the Mugatu face. So fancy, it was like drinking liquid gold. Now, here's the catch, don't go here if you're in a hurry. Just sit back, relax, and let the good times roll. Oh, and bring your patience, because the wait can be a tad bit longer than your grandmother's bedtime stories. But hey, it's worth it for a culinary adventure that'll lead you hell freaking lujahing. So, next time you're in the mood for a night out that'll make you forget all your troubles, head on over to Ironwood Tavern. Just remember, they need more space. Maybe they could rent a moon bounce, or set up a tent in the parking lot. Either way, it's worth the wait, even if you have to hobble in on one leg like yours truly. Mimi's Dim Sum House, where the bathroom will make you lose your appetite, but the food will make you forget all about it. If you're looking for a clean and well-lit restaurant, Mimi's is your place. Just avoid the men's room like the plague. Trust me, you don't want to know what lurks in there. Now, let's talk about the food. It's like a party in your mouth. The chicken bao is like a warm, doughy hug filled with savory chicken. The taro chicken is a crispy, lightly sweetened heaven. And the lo mai gai is like a gooey, sweet ball of ecstasy wrapped in a banana leaf. I highly recommend it, even if you're not a big fan of siu mai. But here's the catch, they need more staff. Like, seriously. When it gets busy, it's like a comedy of errors. You'll be waving your arms like a madman, trying to get the waitress's attention, while she's running around like a headless chicken. Overall, Mimi's is a great place to go if you're looking for delicious dim sum. Just make sure you do your business before you get there and bring your patience. You might need it.